You're a writer, so, well, that means firstly you probably put off writing quite a bit more than you should. Yeah, but secondly, you spend a lot of time at your Mac, and I mean a lot of time, frankly, quite insane amount of time. But at least you can make sure that as much of that time as possible is spent actually writing. I mean, okay, I can't help you with your social media addiction or your game playing fanaticism, I don't know. But I do have 5 tips for making your Mac work for you more than you working for your Mac. Hello, I'm William Gallagher, and this is 58 Keys, which, as ever, as always, is for writers like you and me who use and who write on Macs and iPhones and iPads. Do please like, subscribe, or patronize, but maybe you can do that afterwards, because right now we need to be getting on with things. We need to save some time on our Macs. So, starting with just moving and copying files around. You do this all the time. You're happy with that draft short story, but you know you can't resist tinkering with it. So you also know it'd be a little bit wise to keep a safe copy of the older draft somewhere. Whether it is a draft document, or it's a folder, or it's an image, or any kind of file at all on the Mac, you can drag it from one folder window to another. If those folders are on the same storage device, so you just have your Mac and its storage, so you don't have any external drives plugged in, then dragging a file moves it from the first place to the second. If you do have any external drives and you drag the document from a folder on one of those to one of the others, it doesn't move it. Instead, the file is copied. But there are times when you want to copy generally. I mean, you can make the Mac copy that document even when you are just dragging between folders and windows on the same drive. You just drag the file as normal, but while you're doing it, you hold down the Option key. Or actually, same thing, here's how to do it without doing any of the dragging around of mices, cursors, whatever. You can just select a document, select it once, press Command and C to copy it, and then open another Finder window and press Command V. That pastes a copy of the original document into the new window. Fine. But if, like I said, you want to move it instead of copying it, well, I think you know where this is going, don't you? Command C to copy as before, but hang on, Command Option V to move instead of paste. Next, okay, this is not very often useful, except that when you do need it, well then yes, it is very useful. Open with. Someone has sent you a Word document, but for some unfathomable reason, you want to avoid the pain and the crashes that come with using Word. So instead, you want to open that same document in, for example, Pages. If this is just a one-off, right? Well, find that document in the Finder, right-click on it, choose Open With from the menu that appears, and you get this list of applications kind of popping out from the side. It's a context-aware list. It shows you every app you have that is able to open that specific type of document, or should be able to, and should be able to do something with it. So with a word processing document, Open With, well, it will show you Pages and actually any other text editor you've got. With an image file, it will certainly show you Preview, but you'll see browsers are in there because they can display images, or in my case here, I didn't realize I had quite so many, a rather surprising number of image editing apps. That opens that document in that app, but if this isn't a one-off, right, if they are always sending you Word documents or whatever, you can rig it so the Mac just says, yeah, whatever, and does all of this for you. You can rig it so that the Mac knows to open all Word documents in, say, Pages. To do that, you again find one Word document, select it, choose Get Info. That, if you don't happen to know, that's Command I, or right-clicking and choosing Get Info, or the File menu, Get Info, all the same. And roughly in the middle of this thin little pane that appears, there's another Open With. And again, you pick an app you want, but this time, that's it. Every Word document will open in Pages instead, or whichever combination it is. Or actually, then when you have a one-off the other way around, and for once you've got a Word document that you actually do have to open in Microsoft Word, well, first throw salt over your shoulder, but then select the document, right-click, choose Open With, just like you did before, but this time select Word. That one will open in Word. Or actually, for all this, as long as the apps are in your dock, you can just drag the document onto the right app. I don't fully know why I didn't say that before. But speaking of saying things, I did just throw in a mention of Get Info there. And this is another surprising to me, surprisingly useful feature of the Mac. Okay? It lets you do this Open With thing, yeah, okay, but it also shows you details about the file you're examining, you're inspecting, the date it was created, the size, all sorts of things. Only it happens that on the occasion that I need Get Info, I tend to need it quite a lot, and I need it across many documents or files and folders, and you very quickly end up with this, a whole row of these thin little Get Info panes that you then have to close one by one when you're done. But if you first hold down the Option key when you choose Get Info, you get exactly the same thing, one thin Get Info pane. Yet, as you click to select other documents or even other folders, whatever it is, you keep that one thin pane and it changes to show you the info for the latest item. So when I'm searching for something, it's so useful and less messy. Very often, right, I happen to need to send a screen grab of something to someone. This is what it looks like. Have a look. The Mac's great for this. I mean, I can actually, if I want, I can press several different keyboard combinations, such as Command-Shift-4. That one gives you crosshairs that you select a portion of the screen and saves that to the Mac. By default, when you do that or any other type of screenshot, the Mac will show you that screenshot in what's called a floating thumbnail at bottom right. It's just, it's exactly how you can see it on the iPhone or the iPad. Same idea. And that same idea is that you get the reassurance that it took the shot. You can, if you're pretty quick, glance at it to see that, yeah, that is actually what you meant to take. And actually, if you're even quicker, you can click on it to make some edits and mark up things. I actually turn that off on my Mac because I never edit there. And I don't know, that floating thumbnail just seems to get in my way. If you're the same, to turn it off, press Command-Shift-5 first. This brings up actually all of the Mac's screen grabbing tools, which is excellent. But over there under Options, there is Show Floating Thumbnail. By default, it's ticked on, but you can tick it off when you like. Now, there is actually there's an awful lot in this Command-Shift-5 set of options. It's a really very good feature of the Mac. In fact, it's so good, it's a bit of a shame I don't ever use it, because I use a third-party app called CleanShot X, which seriously unbelievably, who could believe there are better ways to take screen grabs? Who actually believes you want to take screen grabs? But okay, CleanShot X can do it better. Okay, it's tremendous. Kind of lost my thread a bit there. Back to Command-Shift-4. Right, and as I say, it's the one that gives you the little crosshairs, and you can drag to say, this is the bit of the screen I want to grab off, and it does it. Whether you have the floating thumbnail or not, that little screenshot is saved to your Mac's storage. And if all you need is to just send it to someone right now, if you're never going to look at that thing again, it takes up only a tiny amount of space, but you don't need it. It adds up as you do it more and more. So, yet again, keystroke involved, don't look shocked. This time, the Control key. Press Command-Shift-4 as normal, then drag to select the portion of the screen you want. But before you let go, now hold down the Control key. Let go and nothing actually seems to happen. Actually, weirdly, not even if you have that floating thumbnail on, you don't get a floating thumbnail. I don't know why. But if you then start a new email, for instance, you can paste, Command-V, just paste. And that image you took is in your message. So now you can just send it off to whoever it is, knowing that it's done and gone and dealt with, but also that you don't have a useless copy of that image starting to clog up your storage space. Since you are copying and pasting effectively, then there is another part to this, which is that once you've pasted it into that email and sent it off, you've still got it on your clipboard. So you could paste it into multiple messages. You could drive the world mad with the same thing sent to everybody. Yeah, remember BCC is your friend. Or you could use it in an image editor. Maybe you have an image open already in whatever app it is. In that case, you can just paste that screenshot over it and ruin the artistry you've already got there. Or in an app such as Pixelmator Pro, there's an option under the file menu called New from Clipboard, and that opens a brand new document of the right size with your image, with your screen grab in it. Do you know that took longer to describe than I thought? So perhaps fittingly then, the last thing I want to talk to you about today is called Quick Actions. On any document, any file, any folder on your Mac, you can right click, and towards the bottom of the menu that appears, you will have Quick Actions. Click on that and you get like a pop out menu, which might just say customize, but usually says quite a bit more. And again, this is context aware. So if you've done this on an image file, for example, the quick actions that you will be shown here in this list will be all image related ones. So there'll certainly be one to convert the image. If you choose that, it gives you options for converting from, well, say JPEG to PNG, my personal favorite. I have a personal favorite image format. I need a social life. Or with images still, you could turn an image into a PDF. You can mark up or annotate the image. You can do things like this. You can remove the background now without going into an image editor, without piddling about with that, and just, yeah, remove the background, please, off you pop. Or you can rotate the image left. And if you're thinking, well, you know, sometimes I just need to rotate an image to the right instead. And you can. With this quick action open, hold down the Option key, the blessed Option key, and there you go. Okay, I don't think you're going to phone a friend or gather around a party to enthuse about any one of these today, but I know you also do see how they are useful to you. You see, of course you do, how they speed up doing things on your Mac. I'm not really that fussed about speed for speed's sake. I mean, if it takes you 10 years to write a fantastic poem, the result is still a fantastic poem. But I would rather spend my time at the Mac concentrating on the writing that I am trying to do, rather than copying files or converting images or just thinking about where I've saved which document in which version. So there are always going to be more of these things, more of these tips for the Macs. And actually, I do know that I have another batch coming up for you quite soon. For now, let's say that's it for this edition of 58 Keys. Do remember, please, the 58 Keys writing workshop videos. They come out on every Monday. And there's also a script club. I'm obsessed about screenplays. A video about that comes out every Friday. But for now, thank you for watching this. Take care of yourself, okay? And I'll see you soon, after you've written something, all right? You and me both.